So I'm going to start with a weird story. I have a relative who is very quiet and then one day just drops in a family group chat that he started a hot sauce company. I had heard nothing for the last 6 months to a year from this relative, let alone that he was even interested in hot sauce or had been making it for over a year and had recipes he was working on and all of that. No idea. He just dropped like companies live, check out the link. And I looked at that and I thought, that's awesome. He just went and did it. And I've noticed that oftentimes when you tell people your ideas, you're slightly less likely to do them. And I think this is for, at least in what I've experienced in my life, I used to be that friend that had a million business ideas and a million projects, and I would tell all my friends, and then they'd all die and collapse and die and collapse, and I'd move on to the next one, next one, without much consistency. And I've been working on that. And one of the things that's really, really helpful is to not tell your friends until after you've started. And I would argue there's kind of this weird spectrum. If you tell nobody, you're kind of bottled up with that idea, and that sort of makes you have to do it because you can't kind of get it out yet. Especially if you set a marker that I will tell my friends when I have accomplished X, right? You don't necessarily have to get all the way to the end. You don't have to start a $10 million business before you tell anyone you're doing it. But try to get one sale first, or try to register your business, or whatever the thing you're doing is. Take one concrete step that makes it real before you tell anyone. And on the other hand, I think it can be helpful to tell everyone. Got a little bit of this from Dan Martell. He said something about winners call their shot, and he did it on his Instagram for his triathlon. It's often really helpful to tell everybody, right? Like mass, blast text or something like on your Instagram, because then you really have to do it. So I think we tend to default to this sweet spot in the middle where I can tell 4 friends about my new idea and they're not really going to judge me too hard if I don't do it, but it kind of gets the idea off my chest. So it kind of, soothes that stress about it. And then I don't really have to do the idea. You will all kind of live together in the daydream for a day or two, not in reality. And then they'll move on with their lives. And then, you'll drop the idea and then whatever. But over time, that does give you the reputation as someone who talks, not someone who does. I used to be known as just quite the yapper for all these ideas, and yet none of them really came into life in any concrete way. And so what I did was intentionally worked on that. I told pretty much no one at first. A couple of my friends knew that I was learning dancing just because they had asked what I was doing, but I just started learning dances. Actually, the first few days I just started learning a dance on my own, like using YouTube tutorials and such. And then I was telling people only after I had already been doing that for a bit. And all they knew is that I was dancing, not that I was trying to take it seriously. And I didn't tell them that until I had submitted an online audition, actually. It didn't go anywhere, but I submitted one. And then, now, if you follow my Instagram at all, I've put it on blast that I'm trying to learn how to sing and dance and all that. And I think this has actually been a really effective method. I got started on my own. I had all this excitement about it, but I had to do something before I could tell people, or before I could tell my friends. So then when I told my friends, I had something to talk about. I was like, hey, I've already done this. And a lot of them were like, oh, that's cool, oh, good for you. And then I decided, why not make it so that I really have to do it and can't back out now, and just put it on blast for everybody. Because if I was to just give up and quit now, everyone who I've told it to would be like, what the heck? Then why'd you put it out there? So start your ideas first. Start your ideas first before you tell your friends. Again, make sure everything is, not like immoral and that it's, not hurting people and that it takes you closer to your goal and all of that. However, when those are checked, get started first before you tell people. Set up one concrete step you have to do. It could be as simple as, I'm gonna make a website, which now you can do in like a day before I tell anyone that I'm trying to start a business. Or I'm going to make and post a video before I tell anyone I'm starting a YouTube channel. Whatever your thing is, just take one concrete step before you tell people. And then if you really want to get serious about it after that, tell everybody. Tell everybody, because then they'll hold you accountable. So I hope this helps you guys. And this is Pro Gain Knowledge.